The fragrant empire of European courts. The most extravagant, theatrical, and politically charged chapter of perfume history unfolded in the royal courts of early modern Europe, particularly in France. During the 17th and 18th centuries under monarchs like Louis XIV, fragrance became far more than a luxury. It served as a mask for poor hygiene, a symbol of social power, and an instrument of political identity. Perfume evolved from a private indulgence into a courtly protocol, a marker of rank, and a language of status. No cleanliness, only fragrance. The Palace of Versailles, famed for its magnificence, was equally notorious for its stench. Plumbing was inadequate, rooms were rarely cleaned, and bathing was uncommon. Yet, rather than being viewed as unsanitary, this was considered part of nature's order. Perfume thus became the ultimate substitute for cleanliness, applied not only to skin and clothing, but to wigs, gloves, furniture, and even handwritten letters. The ritual of royal scents. At the French court, especially under the Sun King Louis XIV, perfume assumed a ceremonial status. The king himself was anointed daily with fragrant waters, and perfumed handkerchiefs were carried by attendants. Every noble had a personal fragrance blend, often created by their own perfumer to ensure exclusivity. Wearing another's scent was considered a breach of etiquette, almost an act of imitation or disrespect. The birth of the perfume industry. During this era, France emerged as the global center of perfume production. The town of Grasse became the beating heart of the industry, cultivating lavender, rose, jasmine, and orange blossom for distillation. Innovations in glasswork, bottle design, and packaging transformed perfume into an art object, an aesthetic commodity with identity and storytelling. A perfume was no longer just a liquid. It became a creation of branding, design, and symbolism. Scent and social identity. Perfume also became a political statement. Certain fragrances were associated with royalists, while others were adopted by revolutionary circles. After the French Revolution, some scents were even banned for being bourgeois. In this way, fragrance functioned as a social and ideological weapon, an invisible yet powerful language of class and conviction. The olfactory excesses of Versailles ultimately shaped the codes of modern perfumery, its obsession with individuality, luxury, and spectacle. Perfume became not merely an accessory but a declaration of taste, of identity, and of power. Industrialization and the birth of modern perfumery. From the mid-19th century onward, the Industrial Revolution transformed perfumery without severing its ancient roots. It redefined its very essence. The age of handcrafted, nature-bound scents gave way to laboratory-created synthetic molecules and mass-produced fragrance houses. This shift marked the moment perfume evolved from an elite luxury into a cultural product accessible to a far broader audience. New horizons with synthetic molecules. Advances in chemistry, beginning in the 1850s, made it possible to recreate or even invent scents that nature had never produced. A major breakthrough came in 1868 with the synthesis of coumarin. This was followed by the launch of Fougère Royale in 1882, considered the first truly modern perfume, built not from natural extracts, but from an imagined recreation of nature itself. The discovery of aldehydes, synthetic musks, and ozonic notes soon expanded the perfumer's palette into an entirely new olfactory universe. Synthetic ingredients did more than reduce cost. They opened limitless creative potential. Perfumers were no longer confined to what nature provided. They could now sculpt entirely imagined scents, transforming perfumery into an art form of chemistry and sensory architecture. The rise of great perfume houses. Industrialization reshaped not only production, but identity. In France, houses such as Guerlain, Coty, and Caron rose to prominence. In Germany and England, brands like Yardley and Flores flourished. These names didn't simply sell fragrance, they sold a lifestyle, merging scent with design, packaging, advertising, and celebrity culture. Perfume bottle design itself became a form of art. Glassmakers like René Lalique turned flacons into objects of beauty, almost museum pieces. The bottle was no longer a mere container. It became a symbol of the perfume's soul, its aesthetic and philosophical identity. Women, fashion, and fragrance. The rise of modern perfumery unfolded in parallel with the transformation of women's roles in society. In 1921, Coco Chanel's iconic Chanel No. 5 became more than a fragrance. It became a declaration of freedom, a symbol of the modern woman. Perfume no longer existed for the pleasure of others. It became a personal statement of identity. By the dawn of the 20th century, perfume had become not just an industry, but a cultural phenomenon, a manifesto of individuality and modernity. Each drop carried the spirit of an age, the echo of an ideology, and the signature of a way of life. Brand and identity. The evolution of scent marketing. From the second half of the 20th century onward, the perfume industry ceased to be merely about creating pleasant aromas. It became a medium for identity, emotion, and storytelling. Perfume turned into an invisible language through which people expressed who they were, how they felt, and what they believed. Perfume equals who am I? Today, choosing a perfume is far more than a matter of taste. It is an act of self-definition. Fragrances communicate one's personality, gender perception, social status, and even emotional needs. Advertising slogans such as, "For the bold woman," "For the essence of a man," or "Passionate and mysterious," reveal how deeply perfume has become tied to the construction of identity and desire. Marketing strategies now focus less on composition and more on narrative, on what the scent means. Every element, bottle design, logo, name, and tagline, serves as part of a cohesive identity story. The rise of niche perfumery and personalization. Beyond mass-market brands, a new wave of niche perfumes emerged, crafted by artisans, perfumers, and small studios for those who seek individuality over conformity. These creations reject uniformity. They speak to those who do not wish to smell like everyone else. Some luxury brands now offer fully bespoke fragrances tailored to individual clients, turning scent into a deeply personal code of memory and belonging. Perfume thus moves beyond fashion. It becomes an intimate reflection of the self. Scent beyond marketing. In the modern world, scent branding extends far beyond personal fragrance. Hotels, fashion houses, boutiques, and even entire cities craft their own signature aromas to evoke emotional connection and brand identity. The fragrance in a luxury hotel lobby or a high-end boutique is not accidental. It is strategy, designed to be remembered. Perfume today transcends its origins as a personal accessory. It is a spatial experience, a psychological trigger, and a sensory language that anchors emotion in memory. In the evolving world of marketing, the role of scent grows ever more powerful, an invisible art shaping how we feel, remember, and belong. Scent and neuromarketing. Strategies that influence the brain. Perfume is no longer merely an appeal to emotion. It has become a strategic tool that speaks directly to decision-making itself. Neuromarketing, a field that explores the effects of scent on consumer behavior, reveals that smell operates faster and more directly than sight or sound. It reaches the subconscious centers of the brain, shaping brand perception in ways we are rarely aware of. Thus, scent has evolved into more than an aesthetic expression. It is now a neurological investment within the modern economy. The limbic system and emotional response. Unlike other senses, smell connects directly to the limbic system, the region of the brain that governs emotion, memory, and reward. Because of this pathway, scent can influence decision-making before logic ever intervenes. The first impression left by a perfume or the ambient fragrance in a store can unconsciously evoke feelings of trust, pleasure, or belonging toward a brand. Studies have shown that pleasant scents not only extend shopping time, but also increase the likelihood of purchase. In one example, a citrus fragrance used in a shoe store led customers to perceive the products as higher quality. Such results demonstrate how perception can be reshaped through neurochemical mechanisms. The olfactory codes of brand identity. Modern brands seek definition not only through logos, but also through signature scents. The specific aroma in a hotel lobby, the identical fragrance across every branch of a cosmetic chain, or a fashion label's scent-integrated marketing campaign, all are designed to build loyalty through sensory memory. In neuromarketing, this approach is known as sensory branding. Its goal is to transform the relationship between consumer and product into an emotional bodily experience rather than a rational one. Through scent, people remember not just the product, but the feeling it leaves behind in their olfactory memory. The digital transformation of smell and the future ahead. Today, Technology is extending the power of scent into the digital realm. Concepts like olfactive media aim to synchronize scent cues within cinemas, virtual reality, or augmented experiences, creating sensory coherence that influences the brain's decision centers more deeply. This shows that scent is no longer confined to personal space. It has become part of shared experiences and digital consumption patterns. Neuromarketing, therefore, draws the new strategic roadmap for the fragrance industry of tomorrow. The future of scent, artificial intelligence, and digital fragrance design. Throughout thousands of years, the story of scent has been written by nature, craftsmanship, and culture. But in the 21st century, a new player has entered the scene: artificial intelligence and digital engineering. Perfume is no longer just an art for the nose. It is becoming a system built upon data, algorithms, and molecular biotechnology. The fragrances of the future may rely less on the intuition of creators and more on the predictive logic and synthetic creativity of machines. Artificial intelligence in fragrance formulation. Traditional perfume design once depended entirely on the expertise and intuition of master perfumers. Today, machine learning systems trained on vast datasets can analyze molecular structures and propose new combinations never imagined before. Companies like IBM and Firmenich are leading this transformation, using algorithms that scan hundreds of thousands of scent profiles to craft perfumes through artificial intelligence. These systems combine user preferences, market trends, emotional triggers, and chemical compatibilities to design fragrances that are both creative and commercially powerful. Artificial intelligence is no longer the perfumer's assistant. It has become a creative partner. Biotechnology and sustainable aroma production. The perfume industry of the future is not only about aesthetics, it is also about environmental responsibility. Through biotechnology, microorganisms can now produce synthetic aroma molecules that reduce our dependence on natural resources. For instance, the once animal-derived musk scent can now be created ethically in laboratories without harming ecosystems. Rare floral scents, too, can be replicated using DNA analysis and molecular cloning, allowing nature to be preserved while its beauty is reproduced. In this way, scent is being isolated, studied, and sustainably multiplied at a molecular level. Digital scent. Transmission. Bringing smell to the Internet. One of the most exciting innovations is digital scent transmission. Technologies like olfactive media and smell displays aim to deliver scent signals through electronic devices. In these systems, digitally encoded scent molecules are released by special devices, allowing users to feel a fragrance while watching a film, browsing a website, or playing a game. Although still experimental, this technology opens the door to multisensory media experiences, where smell becomes part of our digital reality. What remains behind the scent? For thousands of years, humanity has expressed itself through the aromas it extracted from nature. burning resins for the gods, anointing lovers with fragrance, defining identity through scent. Perfume was never just about smelling pleasant. It was the essence of civilization itself, of science, art, and desire. From the faint aroma of resin on an ancient papyrus scroll to the amber perfume that once filled royal halls, every scent carried the same message. As long as humanity exists, scent will speak with it. Today, those fragrances are designed by artificial intelligence, transmitted through digital space, and produced through sustainable technology. And yet, something remains unchanged. Scent is still our most personal memory, our oldest emotion, and perhaps our quietest storyteller. The history of perfume cannot be contained within a bottle. It is, in truth, the fragrance of time, of culture, and of humankind itself. Says Scent, for thousands of years, it has been humanity's invisible yet most powerful language. From incense offered before the gods to essences reflecting the splendor of kings, it has become the silent witness of loves, memories, and identities. Today, artificial intelligence and biotechnology are carrying fragrance into the future. Yet, in every era, a single drop of scent will still remind us of our past, touch our souls, and whisper who we are. Because scent is a language we perceive not only with our noses, but with our hearts and memories. And as long as humanity exists, fragrances will continue to speak to us.